What is going on, everyone? Welcome to another very exciting episode right here on the Migardener channel. It is an absolutely scorcher of a day today. It's about 85, 87 degrees today, so it's pretty hot, but we had to get out here in the garden and still do some maintenance. So I figured I'd bring you guys along, show you what a kind of a maintenance day looks like here on the garden. We don't have many of them because of how we grow. And so all of you guys asked me, when you are out in the garden and you're doing a big maintenance day, bring us along. We want to see what it entails. So I'm going to really show you what a big maintenance day looks like for us. And it's really just transitioning crops. As spring transitions to summer or summer transitions to fall, we have to cycle crops in and out because of the fact that they just don't like those growing conditions. And that's normal work for us. As far as like watering and weeding goes, it doesn't really happen that often, if at all, because of how we grow. And so, so our big work days really just entail kind of pulling things out and planting more stuff, which is kind of fun actually. So as much as I don't like to transition to summer, it's time. Summer's here. The hot, muggy days of summer have already arrived, and that's just how it is here in Michigan. It comes from winter to summer in almost the blink of an eye. So we're here now, can't avoid it, better get used to it, and just plant what we can grow and enjoy the time that we have in the garden. So we did actually leave one lettuce bed, or we're planning on leaving this one lettuce bed here. That's going to stay. We're going to continue harvesting from that for at least a couple more weeks before we cycle that through. But I did pull up all of our head lettuce. We enjoyed that and ate from it, and whatever else we didn't eat went to seed because it's head lettuce. So that went to seed. That's in the compost pile already. And then we have behind us some more stuff that we still have to pull out. We have to pull out the arugula, the radishes, those went to seed. The cilantro, that went to seed, unfortunately. Man, it is hot today. So the first thing we're going to plant is some okra. We've got some Jing orange okra, Clemson spineless okra. We have a Star of David okra. I really love this okra. It's super cool, and it truly does look just like a Star of David. We also have a ton of sunflowers and beets that I've got to plant. We have the Black Russian sunflower, the Touchstone Gold beet, the Lemon Queen sunflower, the Cylindra beet, the Autumn Beauty sunflower, the Mammoth sunflower, the Bull's Blood beet, some red burgundy okra, some more of the okra there, the Sun Gold tall sunflower, also known as teddy bear. It's a really cool sunflower. It looks like a giant dandelion. We have the McGregor's favorite beet, Sunspot dwarf sunflower, Detroit dark red beet, Ruby Queen beet, Early Wonder tall top beet, and Chioggia. So those are some of the things we're going to be planting today. Obviously, if it gets too hot, we're going to do our maintenance first. If it gets too hot, we'll take a cool down break, get some water, hydrate, and then come back at it once the sun is not quite in peak in this peak. So right now we're in peak sun, nice and hot today, but you got to work when you've got time, right? So let's get out there, let's get the stuff done, and we'll see how we go from there. So the first thing I always notice whenever we're pulling up stuff is the comment of, Luke, why didn't you harvest it sooner? I mean, if you're pulling all this stuff up, could that not have been food? That seems like a lot of wasted food. Well, when you're harvesting for its leaves, you don't always pull the whole plant out, and you don't always utilize the whole plant, so it continues growing. And eventually that plant reaches its maturity and goes to flower. That's just natural. And when it flowers, it gets bitter. So yes, we made a ton of salads out of this. We thoroughly used it. I mean, we used it in juices, smoothies, salads. I mean, you name it. We even sauteed it up. We served it with fish. We put it in soups. I mean, we really used the heck out of the spinach. So just because we're pulling it up doesn't mean we didn't use it, and doesn't mean it's wasted. Also, it's not wasted ever because we're throwing it in the compost pile. That's one of the nice things about composting on site is you're using, the nutrients that you put in your garden that went to grow that stuff isn't completely wasted. You're composting it, and then you're going to return it back to your garden in the form of fresh organic matter. So always keep that in mind. Plus, not to mention, when spinach starts to go to seed, it gets super bitter anyways. I mean, if you want to eat it, it's still edible technically, but I like to say if I've got enough food that I can, never have to go to the grocery store all summer, I'm not going to eat something that tastes bad if I can eat something that tastes good. One thing that I really want you guys to work on, if at all possible, is having an element of respect for what you're pulling out. I think so often when we're pulling something out that's gone to seed or didn't happen the way we really wanted it to, we have an element of disdain. You know, we're pulling it out, we're kind of begrudgingly doing it. You know, it's work, we're grumpy doing it, and we're pulling it out to get it done. But you know, if you've ever benefited from this plant in any way, shape, or form, whether from beauty, therapy, nutrition, profit, if you sold it at market, you know, there's always something that you can glean from this. And I think having that element of respect for it, you know, not just ripping it out with frustration and anger, but instead, you know, thanking it for growing, remembering what it did provide you, having that element of respect really helps kind of change your mindset and stay optimistic, stay positive, but also the biggest thing is it helps gain respect for what food really is, because food does not come from a supermarket. Food comes from the ground, it comes from the earth, and it feeds us. And you really need to have that level of respect so that when you do eat something, you don't just eat it, scarf it down so thoughtlessly and not be thankful for what you actually have. Because this food, you know, we ate from this. This did not have to grow here. We ate from it, we benefited from it. And so while it's time that I have to pull it out, I'm not going to do it with disdain or doing it with any hostility whatsoever. I'm doing it because it's the time, it's the season to pull it out. I'm thankful for what it provided, and it's time to plant something new here. I wonder what a radish that went to seed tastes like. Ew. Very woody. Now I know some of you guys are gonna be asking, well, Luke, how come you didn't pull it out a long time ago? How come you even let it flower in the first place? Well, this is why. This is why I let my stuff flower at least for even a little bit. All right, I've been out here for about an hour. It is way too hot to do any more work. So I think I'm gonna actually call it quits for at least part of the day, get some water, cool off, get some lunch, and I'll come out here later in the evening to finish up this video. So that's all I got for you now. I'll see you later tonight. All right, so we just got inside, had a chance to change out my shirt into something drier that's not so sweaty, and I figured I'd show you all this super delicious, very refreshing drink that not only is going to be delicious and refreshing, but also very beneficial to replenishing some of those electrolytes that you lose when you sweat. This is actually a watermelon lemonade, and it's not using anything other than just fresh ingredients. So we got our watermelon all scraped out. Next thing we're gonna do is add in the rest of our ingredients and blend it up. So to this, we're going to add the juice of 1 lemon, a handful of fresh strawberries right from the garden. Just picked those about 5 minutes ago. Some ice, a good heaping scoop of fresh raw honey. This stuff's a little caramel or a little crystallized, so it'll go fine in here. And finish it off with a little splash of kombucha. This adds natural probiotics. It's a lot better than adding water because it's going to give you a little fizz. Look at the color on that. Cheers. Now it's time to answer some emails and relax. That's good. All right, 6:30, still pretty hot, but way less hot than it was. Let's finish our project. One thing we always make a practice of doing is topping off our bed. In our case, we didn't have a whole lot of compost on hand, so what we did was we just took some Trifecta Plus and we amended some old potting mix that we had. We have a lot of potting mix sitting on hand from doing microgreens and different other projects around the garden, and so we have a lot on hand, but it's not really high quality stuff. It's just pretty average run-of-the-mill potting mix because microgreens don't need that much nutrients anyways. So I just amended it with a little bit of worm castings and trifecta, and then threw it on the bed here. That's just to give the seeds a really good bed to sit in so that they can germinate well. And this potting mix is rich in peat moss, so it holds on to moisture really well, and it'll be a really good bed for the seeds to set in. And then we have the compost, the really rich, fertile soil below it that the seeds can then send their roots into and take off to the races. So I'm not too worried about using potting mix in the garden. A lot of people ask me what my take is on it, and my take is, if you've got it and you don't have to buy it, use it. I'll tell you, there's nothing better than coming out here in the evening with the birds chirping and the sun setting. It's just an incredible, peaceful time. All right, so I just worked this bed behind me here, got it amended with some of that old potting mix, some trifecta and some worm castings, and now I'm ready to plant. Now, it is still 85 degrees and I am sweating. I am dripping sweat everywhere, so I'm gonna finish this up, hurry up, because man, it's hot still. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna plant one row of each. We're gonna plant one row of sunflowers, then alternate that with one row of okra. And the reason why I'm doing that is just because that's what I thought would look cool. I mean, I could have theoretically planted all sunflowers in one patch and all okra in another, but you know what? What's life without having a little bit of fun? So that's what we're gonna do. We're just gonna mix things up a little bit, and that way it looks a little unique. All right, so there you go. There is a full day's worth of chores. I hope you guys enjoyed. I hope you learned something new. I'm dripping sweat. I'm gonna get inside, get some water, get some hydration, cool off a little bit, and then make some dinner. All right, I'll catch you guys on tomorrow's episode. Grow big or go home. See ya.